What's going on out there, peeps? Then I told you so again. I told you so again. I remember making videos telling you guys when it comes to gold and silver that you know what? There's these levels of resistance, and once we get past them, it is going to take off like a bat out of you know what. I also described to you guys what the values of gold and silver are on a debt clock, and lo and behold, Today, I heard a video from my teacher that if I at Pimpy's University, Lynette Zang. I want to play something for you. A couple of things that I think are really super, super duper important. But just as a quick reminder, everybody, we have Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. In here, we talk about gold and silver, cryptocurrencies, foreign currency investments, the whole 9 yards. Nothing political in here. Although NESARA and GESARA is in here, but if you want to get to the political side of NESARA and GESARA, come over to the second group that I have called the Hidden Things in Front of Your Eyes. In here, we do talk about current events as well as political things. So you're welcome to post those types of things in here. Plus, we talk about things that most people might consider as conspiracy, okay? So feel free to come in here and talk about those types of things. Now, I told you guys earlier today that when it comes to don't do this on your emotions. So there's slightly it dropped in red. It's fake. I told you guys it's not real. Look at because the change is very, very minimum. It's tiny. This is how you shake speculators. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be some contraction, but even so, don't fall for it. Look at XLM was almost at 9 cents. This is unbelievable, man. Literally, I'm going to pick up another $1,000 worth just because. Okay, so look, you see all this, and then look at gold. It only dropped 80 cents. I told you they're going to try to trick you guys. They're going to try to drive down the value of gold and silver. It's not going to work. I think we're beyond that. You know, somebody said they're going to try to drive it down to 1,600, 1,500. That's possible. They might, but does that mean it's going to get there? No. Are you willing to risk it? Are you? I'm just wondering if you are. Okay, but even if they did, then you buy on the dip. But it's going to go back up. And I'm not the only person to say that. As a matter of fact, I told you guys if I had Pimpy's University, Miss Lynette Zang would be my gold and silver professor. That she would. Now listen to what she says about where we are and tell me if she doesn't say some words that even I said. Listen.
Now we've got a new support level. That's a good thing. And the only resistance level left is that 1900. Once it hits and goes above that 1900, well, frankly, good thing it didn't hit me on the head. That was actually the best that thing has worked. But that's how spot gold will most likely work. Kind of like, you know, once that resistance is gone. So I can't tell you once we break up.
At 1900, didn't I tell you? We are watching the gold market. If gold hits 1900, it's going to shoot up like a rocket. That's what I said. Today she released this video saying the same thing.
Above 1900. And so some people might say, well, when is that going to be? Well, I'm not really exactly sure when it could be. We could get some more consolidation in here where it just kind of stays at a level for a minute. Or it could close that gap. I mean, really, what are you looking at? 80 bucks? It could easily do that in a day or two or even an hour if something shocks the market. But we're very close to that. And I really think we're going to see that number happen pretty quickly. It is when it gets above it, that's what I'm looking for. Because what that actually will do is that will conclude the cup formation that started back in 2011. So can you see that cup? Mm-hmm. It's really critical to notice that because moving forward, when it is time to capture gains in gold, it's not time yet. It's still time to accumulate. But down the road, when it's time to capture gains in gold and move it into the next income producing asset, this is exactly the pattern that we are going to be looking for to tell us when it's time to make that shift. We are not near there yet. I mean, we have to feel a lot more pain in these markets, and more I'm hearing about the reset. more entities, I'm going to talk to you about this tomorrow, but more and more entities like the World Economic Conference and the IMF, etc., they've been talking about the need for a global financial system reset. And I want you to understand that historically, over 4,800 times, the way a reset is done is by taking these fiat, in this country dollars, but fiat money, government money, and that has no intrinsic value, and revaluing it against gold money that is all intrinsic value.
You hear what she's saying? We have to equal the value of gold and silver. In other words, reset it so that it equals the amount of money that has been produced. And Trump has been pumping out trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars to save us. But eventually it's going to have to be supported by something. So do you hear what she's saying? We're going to have to raise the value of gold to match the amount of currency out there.
And that's when we will see gold begin to express to its true fundamental value, which is substantially higher than where it is today. So I want you really
substantially
to understand that this is likely your very last opportunity to be able to buy physical gold this cheaply.
So, do you hear what she's saying? There's people out there going, I don't know if I can afford this. And yes, it's true. I told you guys what you might see is another attempt by the powers that be to shock the market, to get people, speculators, people like you and me. I'm not a speculator no more, so I know. So get speculators, newbies, they're going to try to scare you by driving the value of gold and silver down, where you go, oh my God, I'm taking a loss, and then you try to sell it because you're panicking, and then they buy it real cheap, and then it shoots up. So trust me when I tell you, I don't care how far it drops, even if it drops 50% of its value, do not sell it. Do not sell it. She's telling you right now, this is the last time you're ever going to see it this cheap. This is the last time. It's now or never. I've been telling you guys this is coming. Now I got people like Lynette Zang. I told you if it hits the 1900 level, it's going to take off like a bat out of hell. She today put out a video. She said, look, if it hits that 1900 level, it is out of here. Here she's going to talk about the debt clock. Sound familiar? I talked about it.
And Lori Fawcett asks, what do you think of the price of silver and gold on the national debt clock? Well, you know, the price of silver and gold, I think you're really referring to, they kind of refer to their fundamental value. And I've done that before. But what I can tell you, because I think they're fairly close-ish to where I bring it in, I haven't looked at the debt clock.
What she's saying is what you see on a debt clock as far as reflecting to us what the true value of gold and silver is. She said that is very close to the actual value. I showed you guys it.
Just recently, I mean, we did a while ago, maybe a few weeks ago, and I think it was pretty close to the fundamental value. So what do I think about it? This is what I know. I can't tell you what I think about it on the national debt clock, except that the national debt clock is trying to show you how heavy the debt load is to carry, and the true value, according to the way they calculate it, of physical gold and silver, showing you that it is severely undervalued because there are so many, contracts that make it appear like there's a lot more physical gold and silver in the world than there actually is.
Did you hear what she said? I told you guys it's scarce. Don't believe it. There's not as much mined gold and silver. Most of the time we're seeing reflections of contracts. Listen what she says about it.
And I can tell you this, that I saw with my own eyes. Unfortunately, it was before I knew how to do a lot of the fancy stuff on the computer, like print screen. But I saw that according to the Bank for International Settlements, for every 1 physical ounce of gold that existed, there were 62,000 derivative or digital gold contracts. So that's what the debt clock is trying to show you with the gold and silver. They'll look at paper contracts, which are futures contracts, versus derivative contracts as well, which is what the Bank for International Settlements were showing. So that's what I think. I mean, I know for sure they're trying to show you how undervalued both of those real assets are if you hold them. Because if you don't hold them, you don't own them.
That's why I'm telling you guys, people keep going, well, I'm going to store it here, I'm going to store it there. I said, no, don't do that. Buy it, own it, keep it in your house. She's telling you, you have to have the physical gold and silver in order to have that value. She's telling you that the debt clock, I showed you guys the debt clock. What did it say? Silver's around $3,700 an ounce, and gold, I think at the time was like $31,000. And even she says it's wrong because that doesn't reflect the true debt. She thinks it's 3 to 5 times higher. Okay, but look, we're not trying to mislead people. We're sharing our opinions on this. And Lynette Zang is an expert. So I've been telling you guys, God help us if that gold hits 1900. So when I heard her today talking about it, she said, if that gold hits 1900, I said, oh, I got to share with the group. All right. This is the last time you're ever going to see gold and silver this cheap ever. In 5-10 years from now, you're going to sit back and go, oh my God, I remember when gold used to be like $20 an ounce, $18 an ounce. Silver was like $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 an ounce. People are like, no way. Yeah, seriously, I remember. That's how I got all this money. So she's telling you, Lynette Zang, I love her to death. I told you if I had Pimpy University, I would hope that Lynette Zang would be my professor on gold and silver. So I was watching her video and I was happy that she touched on 2 areas that I've been touching on with you guys. I like to have other people out there help validate a little bit about what it is I'm trying to share with you. Okay? So again, the best thing you could do is actually own physical gold and silver. That's why I was pushing you guys to do so. She's telling you, we will never, ever see it this low again. It's going to skyrocket. And God forbid, if JP Morgan wakes up one day and does not place I keep calling them puts, but a stay order on them, or there's another fancy, I don't know why I always space it when I get ready to tell you guys, but they keep putting on these, they're trying to suppress the value of silver. The day you walk up and there's no more puts on them, or there's no more, oh my God, I don't know why I'm spacing it right now. But anyways, once they do this, silver's going to skyrocket. Nothing's going to stop it. They own the world's largest amount of silver. They're the entity with the most silver. And keep in mind, silver is even more scarce, and it has way more commercial use than even gold does. So people say, you ever think silver would pass gold? Yeah, actually, I can see that happening, to be quite honest with you. Okay? I don't know when, but I definitely could see that happening. It just has way more use for it. So I wanted to share this because it's important. I told you about that 1900 resistant level. Once it goes above it, that's it. We're never going to see it this cheap again. That doesn't mean they're not going to try to drive it down real quick. They're going to try. Look at, they tried today and it's dropped 1 cent. 1 cent. It looks like it's going back up. They keep trying to drive it down. It's true. They drove it down 80 cents. All right. We're kicking tuchus, all right? But look at this, man. It was down to 227. It was up to 244. XLM, where you at? There you are. Man, it was 6 cents. It's up to almost, it's almost up to 9 cents. Even XRP decided to jump in on us. It actually got to above 20 cents. So I'm happy for it, but it looks like it's going right back down to the 18 cents like it always does. Okay, so gold and silver, you guys, this is why I'm telling you it's important. Lynette Zang, touching on the 2 things I talked about. One is if it hits that 1900 resistant level, it's gone. Also, hey, the debt clock shows you the reflection of the value of gold and silver. So just like I said, I told you so again. All right, you guys. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the video, and if you're not a subscriber, please do so because it helps out the channel, and when you do, I surely do appreciate it. I'll catch you later.